Hi, I'm Dr. David Geyer, orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine specialist, and I provide education and commentary on sports and exercise injuries, injury treatments, and injury prevention for athletes and active people, probably much like yourself, so that you can stay healthy and perform your best. I had a young patient, maybe 9-10 years old the other day, in my office, and I'm not going to get into the specifics of what his injury is, but he was a baseball player, and as we were talking about it, I was talking to him, but I was also talking to his parents. They were getting pretty agitated with me because I said, hey, look, he's probably going to be out 6 to 8 weeks while this injury heals. And mom and dad were just beside themselves because he had this tournament coming up, and he had this showcase event, and he had this travel event, and he just couldn't miss 6 to 8 weeks. He had to be back out on the field playing. Now you looked at the kid and you could tell pretty quickly it didn't bother him that much that he wasn't going to be able to play. He just had sat there with this flat expression on his face, kind of this, just no reaction at all. Certainly wasn't angry. And I don't know if burnout was what was going on with him, but certainly didn't seem all that upset that he wasn't going to be able to play. Now you hear me mention a term like burnout, and you think, what does burnout have to do with kids and youth sports, kids playing sports? We talk about burnout and we think of adults that are really, really stressed in their job and they're just miserable, and so they don't want to go to work and things like that. But we know that kids can burn out in sports. We think that about 70%, this has actually been shown in studies, about 70% of kids quit playing sports by the time they're 13 years old, and burnout is thought to be one of the key reasons that they quit playing sports. Now, burnout is not something that kids are going to come to you as a parent or as a coach and say, you know what, I'm burned out, I don't want to do this anymore. Kids, a lot of times, are going to hold that in. They're not going to tell you that they aren't having that much fun. So rather than just waiting to for them to tell you that things aren't going well, there's some things maybe that you look for, because burnout in sports can manifest in on-field performance changes. It can manifest in emotion and attitude changes. It may even manifest in their physical health. So let's talk about a few of the things maybe that you look for. In terms of on-field performance, which is obviously what parents and coaches largely are worried about, there's a number of things that may change, especially these kids that are really, really good. You might notice that their performance suffers, or maybe they're more inconsistent, or maybe the things that they normally do routinely very well, things that should be habit, that they just don't seem to do that well anymore. Things like maybe in baseball, they're returning a double play at second base, which ought to be routine for them. They can't do that really well. Or maybe it's guarding somebody on the basketball court. They can't keep up with their defender. Or maybe they just don't seem to be having as much fun out there. Or maybe they start arguing with their teammates or arguing with their coach. Something just doesn't seem right in their sport, and it's certainly different than it may have been 6 months ago or a year ago. Now, in terms of emotional issues, you'd be surprised. Kids that are burned out on their sport may start to be more withdrawn or actually be depressed. It may manifest as things like not wanting to eat or not seeming hungry, or maybe they're not sleeping really well. They may start to withdraw and not interact with their family and friends the way they normally did. And you'd be surprised, it can actually manifest in health issues as well. In terms of just what I do, orthopedic surgery, they may come in with just these weird complaints, this weird pain or these achy symptoms that you can't really find a good explanation for. Or maybe they take longer to get better from an injury. They may even get sick more often, non-bone and joint injuries, but they're just not doing as well from a health standpoint. Again, a lot of these kids may not mention things to you, so as a parent or as a coach, those are kind of things maybe you look out for. You also have to open the lines of communication. Talk, create a verbal dialogue so that kids feel comfortable, coming to you, not pressuring them to succeed, win games and have great stats, but ask them if they had fun. I've done a whole video on ways to open the lines of communication, but if they learn to trust you, maybe they'll say, hey, you know what, I'm not enjoying this all that much anymore, and because they know that they can trust you, you're not going to yell at them or scream at them or to push them too hard. And again, a lot of these symptoms are different in some kids than others, so there's a whole spectrum of things, but you want to look for some of these changes because, again, some kids may have more performance changes. Some kids may have more issues with being withdrawn or angry or whatever it is. So look for different things, and then obviously open the lines of communication. Now, do you have a child that plays sports, and if they struggled with motivation and they just didn't seem to enjoy it anymore, or maybe their performance suffered and maybe they were burned out? Have you had a son or daughter that said, hey, I don't want to do this anymore? I'd love to hear your experiences, what you did about it, how you guys handled it. So below this video, I would love it if you'd share your experiences. I'd love to read them, and maybe it could help other people whose kids may be going through something really, really similar. And if you know somebody whose kids who play sports and may struggle with this, please share this video with them. I'd love to help as many people whose kids might be struggling with this kind of thing. So please share this video. I'd really appreciate it. Now, if you like information like this on sports and exercise injuries and injury treatments and injury prevention, subscribe to my video channel. I record a couple of these videos every single week, and I'd love to deliver those directly to you. And last, go to my website, drdavidgeyer.com. I create so many resources on ways to stay healthy and perform your best that I share with my email subscribers. So enter your name in your email list, and I'd love to connect with you that way as well. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is it's not an easy topic to talk about, but I think it's really important. So again, I'd love to hear your experiences below this video, and I look forward to seeing you right here next time.